Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, Mini Motorways. Let's go to Zurich for today's daily challenge. We will not have any tunnels, but as some level of consolation, no destinations will become circles, which, I mean, I guess it means they're going to be a little less demanding of our attention, but at the same time, that's going to heavily suppress the score because you can only get so many people through a square business at a time, and the whole Uberg of it all means that eventually we're going to at least very much want a tunnel, so it's going to be fine, I guess. It's going to be fine. It's going to be completely and totally fine. Sort of. Oh, goodness. Oh, it is Tuesday. It is cold. I want to tell a story about something that happened to me yesterday, because I couldn't really, I don't remember telling it yesterday. There was other stuff that happened yesterday. Go watch yesterday's episode if you haven't already. Problem. Double problem. This thing here is not gonna go well. We'll take another bridge. So there's a way that I can do this that doesn't... Actually, hold on. Wait, I found it. I found the solution. Yeah, the solution is we run this yellow around like so and have the reds do that. Yeah, the yellows do that. Well, this yellow does that. The reds do that. The problem with this solution, as you can probably tell, is that there's only one yellow house for this yellow business. I could do this, and that would get this yellow house involved over here. I don't love that, because this yellow house is now closer to this yellow business than this yellow house, meaning that it becomes the primary destination, meaning that there's a whole thing involved. I don't love that. I don't know how to do anything about it, but I want to note for the record that I don't love it. Additionally, there's this business down here, but I think this business down here, well, I think maybe the thing to do for now... Yeah, I think for now we're going to have to do this and also this, which is bad. That's real not great. We're getting to a point where a roundabout right here would go down real smooth, actually. Yeah, if I put a roundabout here, I could loop the yellow in as well. And it's a thought. It's a consideration. Let's softly plan for that. So anyway, Sunday night here in New England. It was very cold, and it was snowy and icy, and here at my place of residence, we got about 2.5, 3, maybe 4 inches of snow if you want to be generous with it. So we got about, call it 3 inches of snow. But under the snow, there was a lovely little bit of freezing rain that turned into ice, as freezing rain is known to do. That's why they call it freezing rain. So... If you happen to live in a warmer climate and have never heard the term, it's exactly as bad as it sounds. Rain that freezes, yeah, it's real bad. It's not great. So basically, I went out yesterday morning, intending to be proactive, right? I was so proud of myself for doing this thing. I can't properly state, I woke up early. I didn't really mean to, but, I was up. It was 5:45 in the morning. I didn't have anything really to do for an hour. And I said to myself, I'm going to be productive. I'm going to do a thing that needs doing right now when I can do it, rather than later when I have to do it, right? I knew that at some point, the folks who do maintenance at my apartment complex were going to come with a snowplow, and they were going to want to clear out. I said earlier that I want a roundabout, and I do, but I'm not passing up a motorway to take a roundabout. It's not happening. Eventually, I do want a roundabout right here so that we can send some reds over here and some reds down here and maybe even the yellows over this way. I think a roundabout here would help me accomplish all of those things, but again, not passing up a motorway to do it. I'm not that stupid. Next, while we're here, we may as well loop and shoop all of these reds in this manner. Actually, hold on. That's a little bit silly. We can be differently silly by doing this with these beiges and actually, no, wait. This red would always have to... Yeah, this blue's always going to be here, so actually, there's no way to undo that. Okay, fine. In that case, never mind. We'll be exactly as silly as we were before. So I was real proud of myself for the people who do maintenance in my apartment complex. They come with a snowplow and they plow out all the parking spaces. And when they do that, you have to move your car. They drive around in a pickup truck. They blare a horn. You go out, you move your pickup truck. You move your car. Doesn't matter if it's a pickup truck. You have to move it. The fuck are we going to do about this thing, I wonder? I don't have a great answer for that. The answer at the moment is motorway number 1. I still don't love that answer. I think it's a bad answer. I think it's a dumb answer. I think it's, Allen Iverson being asked about calculus. That's how dumb that answer is. Not that if you don't know calculus, you're dumb, because plenty of people don't know calculus, including me. But, if you ask Allen Iverson about calculus, Allen Iverson's gonna look pretty goddamn dumb. It's a dumb answer. Anyway, so I had to move my car. And in order to move my car, I had to clear off my car because it was covered in snow and, as previously mentioned, ice. And one more time, I want to stress, I was so proud of myself. So fucking proud of myself for going out and doing it at 5:45 in the goddamn morning when I didn't really have to. But it needed doing. Speaking of things that need doing, we need to figure out a way to get reds over to here, which is just nightmare fuel, really. If I replace this with... Actually, there's no good reason to... fuck. Okay. So you're going to do that again, still, now and forever. You're going to come in here. This would be a spot for... Actually, I didn't remember that I had perfectly cromulent traffic lights. That is a perfectly cromulent traffic light. This right here will also be a perfectly cromulent traffic light. This red over here is going to swing out this way, so we at least have 4 houses taking care of these 2 businesses. It's still dumb, bad, and terrible, but it is what it is at this point. I don't even know if having a roundabout in here would fix... Well, it would fix this, but that's about it. So I go out at 5:45 in the morning, and I brush and I scrape, and I clear the snow and the ice off of my car, just enough so that I can move my car, and I can park it on the street, and the snowplow can come and clear out the parking spot. And everything will be dunky hoary, right? Everything will be great. Everything will be super de-duper. Because I did this thing at 5:45 in the goddamn morning when I didn't, strictly speaking, have to. I could have waited. I could have, risked that the horn would blare and the trucks would be there during Gimmimimim, which has happened before and is very annoying. I could have taken this dark blue house right here, drawn motorway number 2 to direct it down to this southern blue business, but I didn't. Instead, I went out at 5:45 in the morning and I cleared my car. In the process of clearing my car, this is where we get to, I was so proud of myself for doing this. Here comes the hubris. How dare I be proud of a thing I did? In the process of doing this, I had to open my back passenger door because I keep my brush in the back seat. And in doing that, I broke the rear passenger door handle off of my car. I just, cleared the snow, cleared the ice. I brushed it aside with my glove, and I grabbed and I pulled, and yoink, ripped the damn thing off. Because when you go out in what turned out to be like 10, 15 degree weather, and you try to pull an ice-covered door handle off of a somewhat icy door, shit goes bad for the door handle. We're gonna move motorway number 1 here so as to overfuck.
Hear ye! Let the record show that this viewer was here first.
Good morning, Hulkamat. Hulkamat was here first. So I yanked the door handle off of my rear passenger door, and that was annoying. But I got the brush, I got the shovel, I dug out the car, I moved the car, I parked the car on the street. As I'm getting out of the car to go back to the apartment to warm up, I look and I realize I get out of my car and I close my driver's side door and I see just a flash of silver. And I don't really, I don't recognize it. I don't know what it is at first, but it's a weird, it's a flash of silver color that I don't usually see in the vague direction of my car door, and I get a little concerned. And I turn and I look and I realize that the flash of silver I saw was the exposed keyhole of my driver's side door, just sitting there open to the world, because in just the course of opening my driver's door and getting in the car and driving the car to the street, I had pulled the door handle off of the driver's side door. And half of it was still hanging and swinging, and the other half was lost in the snow. So I went out at 5:45 in the morning. It gets better. It gets better. So I had the thought, oh no, I have to call the body shop. And I've dealt with a local body shop, and they're fine, but they're kind of annoying. So I was like, I'd rather deal with my mechanic. I like my mechanic. My mechanic likes me. We have a decent relationship. I don't know if they do this kind of thing, but if they do, I'd rather deal with them. So I call the mechanic. I have no idea, incidentally, what we're going to do about this dark blue business over here. It might just be fucked. I don't really see a great path toward this not being fucked. I guess what we can... Oh, for God's... I said... That was not a license to give me more dark blue fuckery, you dark blue fucker. We're going to move motorway number 3 over here, try to keep this business from dying. At some point, this business is going to need more support. I'm kind of hoping that, eventually we'll get a single dark blue house to spawn anywhere on this landmass. That would be nice. We got a dark blue to spawn right here. That'll keep this from dying, which is something, I suppose. You go over that way. You, motorway number 2, will swing up here now to keep this from instantly dying. This yellow business, by the way, previously supported with 1 and exactly 1 house. Bad, dying, not gonna go well. Alright, so we get the blues over to here. We respec and jigger that so these 2 yellows can come down this way. We get into here. This business is angry. Have you died? Oh, you've died. I tried to save you, and I thought I had saved you, but no. No, I had not saved you. 437 commuters over 46 days. Amazing. Bottom 25%. Yep. Okay. All right. Drop those samurai slams in the chat. Thoroughly, reasonably, totally deserved. We're going to bring up our very good friend, the Wordle, so as to obscure our shame just a tiny little bit. And then I'm going to finish the story. So I call my mechanic, and I say, hey, here's the deal. I broke 2 door handles off of my car. Is that something you folks can fix, or do I need to work with a body shop? And they were like, no, we can do that. Matter of fact, So I was thinking, because like I have to be in Hartford Friday morning. I was thinking I'd do it on Saturday, and they said no. Actually, matter of fact, we're really slow now. If you want to just come on down, we can at least take a look at it for you. It is -7 degrees outside, according to my weather app. Holy shit, son, that's bad. So I you can actually see it because I have my whole browser window right there. -7. Bad, 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 bad. Don't like it. So I get in my car and I drive to the mechanic and they're like, yeah, we'll, call around, try to get a part here. Turns out that they didn't. It turns out, shockingly, that a random mechanic doesn't just happen to have in stock a driver's side door handle for a 2013 Hyundai Accent. What are the fucking odds, right? But they were calling around and they were trying to get a part, trying to get it delivered. And I was encouraged to just have a seat and wait. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which is how I came to be trapped, sitting, and watching as Donald Trump was inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States of America. All of this, all of it. So to recap, because I wanted to be a busy bee and be productive and good at 5:45 in the morning, I had to go out and suffer in the freezing cold. I broke 2 car door handles off of my car, thereby, permanently reducing the resale value of my car. Incurred a charge of what will be at least $250 to replace one of the handles. Had to drive to the mechanic. Had to sit and watch the inauguration of Donald Trump. Had I not been a busy bee and tried to be good and felt good about myself, I could have waited until 9:15 in the goddamned morning when the trucks finally came to plow the parking spots. It was 20 degrees warmer. Not have broken 2 car door handles off and not have been sitting in a mechanic's waiting area watching Donald Trump be inaugurated as the 47th President of the United States of America. I don't think it's just the Catholic in me, but this is what I fucking get for being proud of myself. God. Y'all are fairly aware by now that I am not exactly a religious person. But if there was ever a moment where the Lord above looked at one person and said, oh, you feel good about that, do you? Watch this, fucko. Watch this, fucko would be the title of the episode if I felt like putting the word fucko in my episode titles. Which I don't. But still. So it's not proud. It could be blast. It could absolutely be blast. It's not blast. Okay. I'm not. It could be veiny. It could absolutely be. It's not, oh, thank God we got something. Why was this the first thing I thought of? It could be a tiny little piece that is broken off of your armor that can be exploited for future gain by your opponent. Okay? It could have been that. It's not, but it could have been. It could be an infraction that you commit in hockey, in ice hockey specifically. It is, in fact, an infraction you commit in hockey. God. I do hockey commentary with a guy who plays roller hockey. I should ask if there's an icing equivalent in roller hockey, and if so, what it is called. I could Google that. I could look it up right now. I'm not going to, but I know that I could. So for today's connections, we've got all of this lovely thing here. So you've got salt and pepper. Those are basic-ass condiments, but we don't also have any other basic-ass condiments, so... you can have a model, a figure, a miniature, and a doll. These are all lifelike representations of humanoid creatures, small likenesses. There you go, small likenesses. Was a very bad children's movie. Not instead of small soldiers, it's small likenesses. There's a lot less action when you have small likenesses instead of small soldiers. Okay. So, you can dig. No. Well, you can dig and, be into something. Or for that matter, a dig, a slight, and a barb. These are all just, little jabs, right? And a crack. These are all small little jokes at a person's expense. Also known as 80% of the underscore Goog's humor. 80% of underscore the Goog's humor. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So, we've got hold on. Dr. Octopus is a Spider-Man villain. Doctor Who is what you would call the character the Doctor if you were intending to make fans of the television program Doctor Who very angry. Dr. Pepper is a beverage. And everyone remembers the famous Simpsons episode and jingle called Dr. Plow. That's my name. That name again is Dr. Plow. No? No? All right, fine. Well, then Dr. No is a James Bond villain. How about that? Pop culture doctors. Indeed. And then plow, sand, shovel, and salt are all things you do to clear ice and snow from your various roadways. Yep, those are things that you do. Okay. Today's Strands theme is You Don't Say. Yes, very much. You don't say, really. Oh, yes. Let me stroke my beard about that. Perhaps we shall have multiple pea psychiatrists together, and we shall stroke our beards. Yeah. It's a real beaut. Come on. There you go. It's a real beaut, and you could perhaps have multiple of those buttes. It's not several large flat land masses, because that's a different spelling of buttes. Okay. So, we've got a question. Sort of. I see cherry up here. And that's up in the top right corner, so that's usually going to be a thing. You can pats and hats and bats. Nope, it's not a Jose Canseco tweet. But we can have boat and boats and boast. Bosat. Goog. There you go. You can also have toast. It's a thing you can have. Is this like phosphate or something? No. Interesting. Keep trying to make phosphate happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Something can be deer or deer. Both of those are possible. You can also go to a seer. It's a thing you can do. Is this your card? I don't know. Are these your cards? Now that is the question. The answer to both of those, of course, is no. But we don't have to worry about that. We can't get a jar out of this, which is a shame. We're just going to have to keep it in a barrel or something. Just going to input that and then move on with our lives. Yep, we've got tier and tear. And rear? Yes, we can rear. Or we can put something in the rear. We can't actually rear. The REE doesn't connect to rear. Anyway, we can sate our... Nope, it would help if I spelled sate right, Goog. Okay, good job. We can go on a date, or perhaps be a philanderer. A philanderer. And go on multiples of those things. Okay. We can erect a marble statue of someone. We should probably at some point actually try to solve the strands, but I'm having fun finding stupid words. It's part of the charm of the game, I guess. I don't know. Do we know anything at this point? It's an open question. Hey, New York Times, are you going to let me say turd? Yes. Well, then you'll probably let me pluralize it. You're not going to let me say the word pluralize, but that's between me and my tongue. I'm kind of surprised that final wasn't a blue word, given that it's right down in the corner here, but hey. I didn't get the satisfying ding of a correct answer, which is not actually a thing that you get, but still. Okay, so, question. The fuck are we doing? Where are all of the words? So you don't say, and there's cherry. I don't immediately see the connection there. So, I'm a little stumped, but it'll be fine. We'll get there. Can I make T's out of? No. Okay. I can make B's, though. That's great. I can make best. We can make rest, which is something. We can make crest, which is toothpaste. It's not actually helping me do the thing. We can probably just light bulb our way through at this point, but having already gotten one, we should probably try to do something. It seems like a good idea. And yet, sling is a thing. You can also, returning to our philanderous theme, you can have a fling. You could be a bard. And again, I'll say, I don't think you're going to let me say tase, because that involves, that verb's the noun that is a proper noun, so no. No, not a thing that you do. Okay. Let's find some actual theme words, shall we? It's actually a good question, shall we? Uh-oh. I see bulb. Yeah, no. You don't say is the theme. It's not like silent, right? S-I-L-S, no. Well, shit. Alright, fine. Boss. Okay. The fuck is this, then? Taff? Oh. Oh, are these these are words that mean good? Because, obscure idioms or sayings for things. Because, if something's cherry, it can be in, mint condition. No. I thought I was seeing vocabulary, but that's not right. Hold on. I see tubular. Is this just outdated slang? Specifically 80s slang? Oh my god, it is, because I just found the Spangram. It's dated slang. And these are phrases That you don't say. Okay. Okay. Fine. That's... Yep. Definitely doesn't make me want to raise anybody's house or anything. Okay. Okay. Sure. Absolutely. Why not? So, in here... Now, you'd think I could pull 3 words out of this, but you would be wrong. I see rash and crash. Fresh, that's what's here. That's fresh. I like how the Spangrum's kind of shaped a little bit like a house, if you squint. Because, like, Full House or... So, I don't know. Radical is what this one is. And major is our last one. Okay. All right, fine. We got there. It only took one of those. All right, fine. For today's Immaculate Grid, we need dudes who hit 30 homers in a season. We need A's and Angels and Cubs and Brewers and dudes what made them the Hall of Fame. A gentleman who hit 30 home runs in a season and is in the Hall of Fame is James Howard Thom. An Oakland A who's in the Hall of Fame is Mike Piazza. A Los Angeles Angel of Anaheim who is in the Hall of Fame is Rod Carew. Rod Carew's in the Hall of Fame, right? Of course he is. Good job, Goog. An A who was also, not an A, an Angel who was also a Brewer is our opportunity to hit the Zach Greinke button. An A who was a Cub is not Jed Lowry. Jed Lowry did not actually play for the Cubs. I just think he did. I don't think I've Jamie Moyered that, but I have hit it a fair number of times. A Cub who had 30 homers in a season is probably Moises Alou. He was like a really, really, really good hitter, and he had power. He did have a bunch of doubles. He might have only been like a 25 homer guy when he was with the Cubs, but we'll come back to that. I'm not going to bet the stakes of an Immaculate Grid on that, but I might try to lock it in at some point. Brewer, who had 30 homers in a season, is Richie Sexson. I was going to think of something much grosser to say. Let's see. Cub, who was also an Angel, is John Lackey. That's a true and accurate statement. Brewer, who was also an A, is Raleigh Fingers, I think? I think Raleigh Fingers pitched for the A's. I'm correct about that. Now, we must name some Cubs. Yay. This shouldn't be terribly hard, just because for a long time the Cubs and A's had similar management philosophies. Well, shit. Let's see. Mark Grace was a Cub, but he wasn't an A and never had 30 homers in a season. The obvious Cub 30 homer guy, by the way, is Sammy Sosa. Like, obviously, Sammy Sosa hit 60 homers twice and never led the league in homers. Sucks to be Sammy Sosa. He also did steroids and lied about it and is being held out of the Hall of Fame because he did steroids and lied about it and hit a bunch of homers and otherwise wasn't an excellent baseball player. Like, he had a fantastic career, and you would definitely take Sammy Sosa's career if you were being offered it for just about anyone, but he wasn't, like, the most greatest amazing dude ever or anything. All right, I can name a Cub who was also an A. Let's think about this. Come on. John Lester was a Cub. Was he an A? Actually, yeah. Yeah, he totally was. He got traded to the A's. Never mind. John Lester is a Cub who was also an A. I was almost stupid. All right, so we're not betting the success of the Immaculate Grid on Moises Alou. We're taking the layup. It's Sammy Sosa. With that having been said, I am immediately Googling Moises Alou baseball reference, and we're gonna see if he had a 30-homer season with the Cubs. We're gonna do that. So here's Moises Alou. He was a tremendous baseball player. He played for the Cubs from 2002 to 2004 and hit 15, 22, and 39 home runs. A shame. Hey, what the fuck happened in 2002, Moises Alou? You were bad. You were bad in 2002. He was just kind of all right by the standards of 2003. Oh my God, I'm looking with envy at an 819 OPS just being a 111. Man, I miss the mid 2000s. Anyway, Moises Alou totally would have fit the square. Oh well, we still won. This has been an Immaculate Grid, which means that this has been an episode of Good Morning Mini Motorways. Thank you all so very much for being here. Where the fuck did I put my schedule? There it is. We shall return later this evening for more Baldur's Gate 3. Last week we went to hell, and this week we're going to try to get out. Emphasis on the word try. It'll be fine, probably. You know, no metaphorical implications there. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
I think I remember things, but we'll see if they come up. He's an anachronism. God damn it, Kath. God. He's an anachronism.